Alright.
So, and if someone was to apply or aspire to be a part of such kind of programs, so what do you think should they do, in their profile aspects? Like, a 10th and a 12th is something you cannot change. And currently with the pandemic, a lot of people are helter-skelter with 12th results and all of those things. So what do you think should be, a candidate's perspective to have that on their profile to be eligible for such programs?
Look, there's one direction where a management program is moving to, right? So when I talk about even BBA, I talk about an MBA, right? A management program is now becoming three things, right? One, obviously, is your domain knowledge. So the middle portion is still your management related learning. Now, whether you want to become a digital marketer, whether you want to get into marketing, whether you want to get into finance, whether you want to be a good accountant, whether you want to be a human resource person. So that's your domain knowledge. That remains in the middle. But what's happening now is that any good management qualification is trying to bring in a lot of technology learning, a lot of tech-based learning into the classroom. Okay, so which means that if you have a circle in the middle, which is around management, domain knowledge, your finance, your marketing, on the left-hand side, you will see that a lot of tech-related learning is coming in, right? Now, this tech-related learning could be being able to understand coding, being able to understand certain amount of software, being able to analyze data, being able to be comfortable in, let's say, robotic process automation, being able to be comfortable, let's say, in courses that are a little bit more around machine learning, artificial intelligence, right? The basics. I'm not saying you have to get into major detail, right? But remember, all guys who are currently doing the BBA, all guys who are currently doing the undergraduate in management in some form or shape will require to be comfortable in tech environments, okay? Because automation is happening, right? Industry 4.0 is happening. Some people talk about Industry 4.5, Industry 5.0, whatever else. The fact is that even an undergraduate degree will not just be meant for doing basic stuff, right? So, a machine can now do a better job in being able to create a balance sheet. A machine can do a better job in being able to do some basic analysis. What are you there for? You're therefore to be able to adapt this, apply this, work with machines as well as with people at the same time within organization, right? So on one side, tech is coming in. On the other side, liberal education is coming in, right? So the other circle is liberal education, wherein it's not just about, okay, do I know what artificial intelligence is? Do I know what blockchain is? Do I know what fintech is? Do I know how to apply that in a finance environment, in a banking environment, in a marketing environment, in advertising? But it's also about learning more about people, learning more about, let's say, economic history, learning more about civilization becomes fundamentally very, very important. So as a business leader, a good management program, a BBA as well, is now trying to bring in tech, your domain knowledge, as well as some form of liberal education going forward. Okay, so to be able to survive in this kind of a setup, what's happening around us? There's exponential technologies around us, a lot of smart connected products. Everybody who's listening to this conversation right now either may have a Fitbit, is watching Netflix, right? Is getting onto the internet, is creating a footprint, is giving out or emanating a lot of data, okay, which is then creating a lot of smart products, a lot of smart services, right? At the same time, you have a lot of business innovations that are happening around, right? At the same time, it's new work arrangements. The fact is, most of the people are working from home. And you would realize that as you become more senior in your roles, as your role becomes more intellectually orientated, the more you will realize that you will be away from office and working in your own comfort zones. All this requires a very different approach. Okay, in the future, let's say, for example, in marketing, you might have someone, who's done a BBA in marketing, in digital marketing, may have done a little bit of, let's say, artificial intelligence or machine learning or a little bit of coding. He or she might find himself becoming a machine personality designer. Okay, imagine you're becoming, someone who's designing a personality for a machine.
Yeah.
Okay, because at the end of the day, automation is coming up. I don't want to get into those details, but machine personality designers, neuro A/B testers, right? So neuro A/B testers, people who are trying to understand how brains function, how brains work, what patterns we like, what products we actually like by looking at a lot of brain mapping, right? What does it mean? That means you have to have technical understanding. You have to understand your marketing piece. Both these fuse together. So we're looking at a very, very different world out there in terms of careers, jobs, roles, and everything.
I think that was really amazing, sir, to get a different perspective and the whole three perspectives which you brought in. Like I think that's something which is going to help not just for BBA but for any kind of a job or a profile you're preparing for an interview. You'll have to have domain knowledge, tech based. It's going into every stream, and the liberal education which is there. So one thing which comes to mind is like liberal education always brings in like the thought process that you choose your own subjects. So do students, even from, suppose I'm from a BBA background and I've taken a regular BBA or something, do I also have such kind of options to explore different streams? Because, I can change. I may not be very sure in my first year what I really want to do. Second year, I want to shift to a different stream altogether.
Absolutely. So I think, like I said, once again, some dynamic, young, progressive, modern universities, what are they? They're actually opening up the curriculum, right? So let's say, for example, in our case, we have a School of Engineering and Technology, we have a School of Law, we have a School of Economics and Commerce, we have a School of Management. So what we're saying is that absolutely, a student, when he or she comes into a university atmosphere, is not very sure about what he or she wants to do, right? He or she, yes, may have a fair understanding. Okay, I want to get into this bit of an area, but I really like intellectual property. Or I really like, let's say, a little bit of how artificial intelligence is, taught, or how Arduino boards are rated, or whatever else. I like those subjects in the tech school, right? And I like those subjects, let's say, in, advanced accounting, for example, happening in the School of Economics and Commerce. A good university, what they're actually doing now is opening up their curriculum, right? The curriculum is becoming multidisciplinary. Why should I stop someone from wanting to learn sitting in the School of Economics, Indian economic history, right? It's very important, because to be able to design policies for the future, you need to know where you're coming from. Okay.
Correct.
So, some universities are progressing in that direction. They're opening up their curriculums. They're encouraging people to either audit or actually take those subjects, which may be offered in other school. They're making this happen because people realize that in the future, all these silos will break up, right? All these silos will kind of actually disappear. So we have to prepare the student for the long term. The other thing also is that the new education policy that a lot of people are obviously talking about, it launched last year. The new education policy by itself also talks about, let's open up the curriculum, right? Let's start making people learn what they should be learning for the next 30, 40 years, rather than just for your first job once you finish your undergrad. So I think multidisciplinary learning is the way to go. And it's important to be able to facilitate that, allow students to learn what they would like to learn in the university.
That's lovely. That's really interesting. And thank you so much, sir. I had requested 15 minutes of time and I have shot that a lot, taken 25 plus minutes of your time. It was really insightful to have this understanding. And the exams, like, sir, right around the corner next week and the week after that. So any last minute tips for students for these exams that you would like to give, like, for all the entrance exams?
Well, I think prepare well. At the end of the day, these exams are a little bit about speed as well. So I think it's important that you practice. But my suggestion would be not to do anything on the last day, right? I know that it's against the grind. I think it's something which most people tend to do. Obviously I'll be lying if I said that I didn't do anything on the last day, because that was the day when a lot of intensive learning was happening towards the end, whatever.
True.
But I think these are competitive exams. These are exams wherein at the end of the day, it's about those 2 or 3 hours or whatever. So, it's important that the mind is as composed as possible. So right now the exams may be, let's say, in the next 7 days or in the next week. Give it all you got, but towards the end, wind down a little, focus on your mental faculties focus on grit, determination, speed, and then, just keep a cool mind, calm and composed. That's all I would say right now.
That's lovely. That's really great. And that really means a lot. Like, so it's always told that don't do a lot on the last day, but you're somehow trying to get in as much as you can. And so we would love to have you come over for another session with all of these people with respect to understanding more about digital transformations and all of these, once the exams are done within like next 15 days or so. Would it be possible for you, sir, to come over?
My pleasure. I mean, my first job, whatever it is, whether I'm dean or administrator or whatever you want to call me, at heart and fundamentally, I'm a teacher. So I would love to engage and talk to students whenever given the opportunities. I'm happy to come along. Thank you.
That's so lovely and amazing. So thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your time today, and that too on a Friday evening. So thanks a lot. Means a lot for us.
My pleasure. Thank you, and all the best to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Bye.